Going to do this.
As Vice President Kamala Harris prepares to take center stage and take the slip for presidential nominee officially at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, a surge of voter enthusiasm is reshaping the presidential race against former President Donald Trump.
Well, we've got 50,000 people coming in from all over the country and all over the world to see the city of Chicago, to experience the Democratic Convention. So when we bid on the convention, we knew this would be a big economic boost for the city and also a way for us to show off the beauty of Chicago, particularly the summers in Chicago, better than any other city in the country.
The convention comes just weeks after President Joe Biden abruptly ended his re-election campaign, a decision spurred by growing concerns within the Democratic Party about his ability to effectively lead the nation for another term. Harris, who quickly garnered widespread support from Democrats, selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate, solidifying the ticket. The convention marks a pivotal moment for Harris, who now faces the challenge of uniting the party and energizing the electorate in a race that promises to be highly contentious. The November presidential election is poised to be marked by an unprecedented gender divide, as polling data reveals significant differences in support between male and female voters.
I think it's kind of chaotic, but I am really excited that Kamala is running. I did get a little bit nervous when we had found out that Trump was going to be running again, but when they had kind of did that switcheroo and had Kamala come in, it kind of gave a lot more hope for what was coming.
A recent New York Times Siena College poll conducted among likely voters in key battleground states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, highlights this divide. The poll shows Trump with a 14-point lead among male voters, while Harris enjoys a 21-point advantage among women, resulting in a 35-point gender gap. This widening gender divide is further corroborated by earlier national polls. One such poll, conducted by the New York Times and Siena College in late July, showed a 31-point gap between male and female voters. Meanwhile, a Quinnipiac University poll recorded an even larger gap, with Harris leading among women by 16 points, while Trump led among men by 23 points. This 39-point gender gap signals a significant shift in voter alignment compared to previous elections, where the gender gap was considerably smaller.
There will be challenges in this country for gender. I think more so for gender now than even color, because that barrier was broken by Barack Obama. But he obviously is a male, and I think we saw some of the misogyny or just bias against women that occurred with Hillary Clinton in 2016. I'm hoping that we can get past that just for the race itself, no matter if she's elected. But
experts suggest that these figures reflect deepening political fault lines between men and women, particularly among younger voters. The growing polarization is evident within Generation Z, where young women are increasingly aligning with liberal causes, while young men are showing a tendency to support more conservative candidates.
In 2020, it was young voters who turned out in record numbers and elected Joe Biden President of the United States and me, the first woman elected Vice President of the United States. Because young voters showed up, we have made so much progress, historic progress, on everything from gun violence prevention to taking on the climate crisis. And this November, we will win again. And we need your support. In this election, we know young voters will be key. And we know your vote cannot be taken for granted. It must be earned, and that is exactly what we will do.
This divergence could result in young men backing a Republican candidate for the first time in over 2 decades, while young women remain steadfast in their support for the Democratic Party. The enthusiasm surrounding Harris's candidacy comes at a time when the Democratic Party is grappling with internal divisions and an electorate that remains deeply polarized. Harris's nomination has been met with mixed reactions, with some Democrats rallying behind her historic candidacy, while others express concerns about her ability to unite the party and secure a victory in November. The gender gap is likely to be a defining factor in the upcoming election as Harris seeks to mobilize female voters while navigating the challenges posed by a significant portion of the male electorate that remains loyal to Trump. The upcoming Democratic National Convention will be a critical moment for Harris to articulate her vision for the country and to persuade undecided voters that she is the right choice to lead the nation. In response to the Democratic National Convention, former President Trump and his allies are launching a coordinated counteroffensive across key battleground states.
The toxic poison of anti-Semitism now courses through the veins of radical Democrat Party. I mean, this is a radical group of people. I never thought I'd see that either. They have gone crazy. And instead of expunging this hatred, Kamala Harris is pandering to it. He wouldn't even meet Bibi. He wouldn't talk to him, didn't want to talk to him, didn't want to mention when they finally were forced to meet. She wouldn't be there. She wouldn't be in Congress. And they were forced to meet. It was like she couldn't stay. She just wanted to get out of the room. You can't have that. She'll let it go. She'll let Israel go.
Trump's campaign events this week are strategically timed to coincide with the convention, as he seeks to shift the focus to issues that he believes will resonate with voters, including immigration, the economy, and crime. Trump's itinerary includes stops in 4 swing states, where he plans to deliver speeches on topics that have been central to his campaign. On August 19th, Trump will speak on the economy in York, Pennsylvania, followed by an event focused on crime in Michigan on August 20th. Trump will then travel to North Carolina to address national security issues on Wednesday before concluding the week with a visit to Arizona, where he will discuss immigration and tour unfinished sections of the border wall. Trump's aggressive campaign schedule underscores his determination to counter Harris's momentum and to frame the election as a referendum on the issues he has championed throughout his political career. The former president's efforts to appeal to male voters, particularly in the key battleground states, will be crucial as he seeks to overcome the gender gap that has emerged in recent polling. As both campaigns gear up for the final stretch before the election, the battle for the White House is expected to intensify, with each side vying for the support of a deeply divided electorate. Harris's historic candidacy and Trump's relentless counteroffensive set the stage for what promises to be a closely contested and highly consequential election.